Oh, hi everyone, and welcome to the Scratticus Academy. We are back with some HoroScoops. I'm so excited to be back. First of all, before I hand over, please check out all the links that are coming up in chat now. That includes our Discord, merch, YouTube, you name it, you go find it over there. Also, a huge thank you to our wonderful sponsors who make this all possible in the form of Mage Hand Press. You can check out their links there. And also our new sponsor, The Deck of Many. Please go check them out. Freaking love them. I love their they've got their animated spell cards that go check out the link. They're very, very cool. Otherwise, I will hand over to the very lovely Hans. Oh, hi.
Oh, hi. I thought I'd start out today by naming some other lovely people. Have we talked about Kelly? Kelly is lovely. Mac is lovely. Lauren's going to be playing another game, but she's lovely. We know this. Who else should we shout out as being lovely? You know, I got a lovely book today. I got the new Cypher System book. This thing is so big, so it's huge. It's a workout. I'm happy with that part, though. So lots of fun stuff going on. And you know what else is lovely and new? Alice's Patreon. Make sure you go check that out. At some point, I'm sure her links come up, but go check out Alice's White Rabbit Pick Patreon. She's not feeling so good. I don't want her to have to talk all night tonight. Okay. I'm going to talk really fast, like usual, but now I'm going to bring it down a notch, and I'm going to say, hey, Sarah, how are you?
I'm good. Everything is great. I'm so excited to be back here. You can follow me on Twitter at Sarah L. Kinney. My name is above me, which is super convenient. And when we jump into this game, I'll be playing Cameron Sheehan, a metal-loving, red-headed, flannel-wearing woman in her mid-20s who has recently come into magic powers and is trying to experiment with what she can do with them. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah, I thought back to last episode. As soon as I took that drink of tea while you were introducing yourself, I was like, oh no, now I'm going to die because of Cameron. It's great. So we'll do the recap in a second. Yeah. Hey, Allison, how are you?
Hey, everybody. It's Allison. I am super excited to be here. Very, very happy for tonight. I've been in actual San Francisco all day, just kind of walking the streets and taking pictures and getting the vibe. So I feel like I am fully ready to bring Josie Conrad, the manager / mom of these here HoroScoopers, into the game tonight. Thanks everybody for being here. I can't wait.
Yay. Hey Alice, I'm going to ask you to do some more talking after all, I guess.
That's fine. I could do that. Oh, hi, I'm Alice. I'm also White Rabbit Pick on Twitter, and I play Darcy Moretti. And Darcy did not do Magic Van. That is what I'm going to say. Darcy did not do Magic Van.
What more do you need to say? By the way, don't forget to check out her Patreon, which is now coming up on the links on the screen. And I don't think that can be said enough over the next few days. But next up is Sammy. Hey, Sammy, how are you?
Oh, hi, I'm Sammy, Smallish Sam. I play Lewis. Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot already. It's a lot. So much right there. I mean, how much more could you need? And last but not least, the man, the myth, the legend, Mal.
Hi, I'm Mal. I don't know what to say after that, Hans, honestly.
You're always coming in last.
That's fine. I just I'll be playing Sullivan, our hashtag urban druid, who is actually the correct term is speaks for the land. I keep forgetting, but he's totally ginger twins with Cameron.
He's got all sorts of hair color stuff going on, though.
Well, he's got patches of white, but he's technically a ginger.
Okay. Patches of white is the term we're using. Got it. Well, we played a game last week, and some things happened. So let's see if we can do a recap. I may need everybody's help for this. But in short, Allison, okay, so not even Allison, Josie was spirit walking out of her body in the ghost world and had to go and fight to save her ex-military team from a witch. Pardon me. Okay, and that witch had them all trapped in a big, tangle, let's say, of ribbon. That sounds good and accurate. And after a little bit of kicking the witch's butt, Mal kind of jumped in there. See, I've already failed, because while that was going on, Lewis suddenly got taken out and stuck in this snarl of ribbon. And then Mal came in and magic sorted the witch. So there was a lot of stuff going on there. We had a smooch, which was very good, between Josie and Cam. Cam is not a regular occurring character on the show, but a backstory character. And then at the same time, we had the van driving through the Henry Cowell Redwood National Park get hit by lightning, towed to a garage. The crew ate food, because of course they did. With Josie passed out in the back, Lewis passed out in the back. No, just Lewis, right? Josie was back because Josie had food. I can totally do this recap. There was not a lot going on last time, right? Okay, so we got all of that stuff done. And after food, during and after food, Josie and Darcy managed to really mess up this Bigfoot hunter whose name is Hank Young, his truck and gun, and they wasted a perfectly good Monster Energy drink. There was a lot going on there. They went out into the parking lot, and Cameron decided she was going to fix the van using magic, which is not a thing that happens. So there's now currently a telekinetically levitating van going around in circles in this parking lot while everybody climbs in and out of it to have conversations, including the lady who towed the truck, whose name is Cassie, and who is apparently an ex-demon hunter who has made some allusions as to who people are and what they are, and also told you that she is kind of the caretaker of the Bigfoots in the area. Yeah, and how these people, our great, excellent, best ever HoroScoops crew, might accidentally disrupt the Bigfoot population and expose all the people living here because they're shooting magic all over the place, in short. Hence, Magic Van. And that's so very much stuff going on. You can't say it all in one thing like this, because, wow. Did I miss anything really important? And Pockets is somewhere right now. I have this note to myself that I have to remember where the heck Pockets is at all times, because that's been a thing. So, with all of that in mind, we have a horoscope today. This is for Libras. So if you're a Libra, dear listener, keep this in mind. The influence of Venus is heightening your personal charisma and influence. The relationships you've made at work may have an opportunity to become something more personal and intimate. This is an ideal time to pursue a dream, a vision, or a new relationship. Don't let this opportunity pass you by. So for all you Libras out there, look forward to that. As we get started, we're going to have a rewind. This is a YouTube video that went out maybe about 3 weeks ago, and you guys may or may not have remembered this. This is just one of those quick moments. It trended on Twitter for a second, it's gone. There's a scene showing an animation of a young man. He has short black hair, dark skin, and he's walking in a corridor. After a moment, it proves to be a library because there's very dim light, and you can see the outline of books along the sides as he walks forward. His fingers kind of go over the spines of the books, and it lands on one that's written in an unusual fictional language. Lots of triangles and swirls and things like that. And right there with his finger on the book, darkness falls over the book. So you get that spill forward shadow, and it goes over his hand, it grows up, and the camera pulls back. So you can see this entire shelf of books, his hand's on it. And then the background is this big, shadowy, horned monster that's making the shadow onto the man. With that, dark things, this is the voiceover, dark things hide in the shadows. A determined investigator brings them to light. And then there's one of those where something burns itself across the screen, and the name Maxwell Ember comes up. And it does a light gold, it does that shine across the letters, and then it glows with an inner fire. So if we can all imagine that trailer, just background stuff, that's just my new pitch. It's my next startup I'm going to talk about, but that's going on before the game starts. So now, we're here. We're in a van. The van is currently operating with no power, no electricity. Steering doesn't do anything. So, Cameron, you can turn that wheel as hard as you want. Nothing seems to really make a difference. And yeah, it's sparkling a lot. There is a lot of sparkle going on. In the van, we have, well, of course we said Cameron. We've got Josie. We've got Darcy. We've got Sullivan. We've got Pockets. And we've got Lewis, right? We did stick unconscious Lewis back into the van, hanging out. You guys, can you describe the taco for Sammy's benefit?
So I think what we did is we stole one of the futons that was in HoroScoops, whether Bill, our boss's boss, wanted us to or not. And we like shoved it into the back of the van, so it's kind of in a taco shape. And I think we put Lewis there. And there's also a to-go container of breakfast food, like somewhere on his chest, or maybe it's like he's curled around it.
So Lewis can appreciate that while unconscious. It's very snug, very warm. So all of this is going on. There's also a lady who is in this van with you right now. Her name's Cassie. And as kind of a quick recap, she's darker skinned. She has hair that's pulled back. It's like kind of, curly bushy hair that's pulled back into a tail. I actually said it was braided last time. She has a large burn scar that goes from her cheek and her ear down to her neck, and it kind of disappears in the collar of her flannel shirt. And then she's wearing like a really thick canvas pants and a pair of workman's boots, work person's boots. And she's in the van, and recently she has said to you that she knows the difference between a good demon and a bad demon. A demon that was raised that way and a demon that hasn't killed someone, or that's killed someone. These are some of the fun facts. But additionally, she's now here telling you that she's the one who knows about Bigfoots in the area. And not to bother the people at the Bigfoot Discovery Museum, which is directly in front of this van and across the parking lot. At the Bigfoot Discovery Museum, we have a van that's pulled up. It's a white Chevy Astrovan type van, and a man's gotten out. He's walked up to the front door. He's wearing like a really boring green plaid shirt. He's got jeans on, boots, long blonde hair that's pulled back in a ponytail, a beard that's not quite as bushy and full as Mal's. So he's walking up, he's got his hand like on the door. And while that's happening, you hear, "What the hell?" And there's this man standing in his very raised black truck, shaking a gun. And you could just see like little spatters of Monster Energy drink go flying out of it. And he points at this man over by the door and jumps down out of the truck, still holding the gun. That's what's going on right now. What are you going to do, Josie?
Cassie, we could work together. We don't want to see the Bigfoots. We don't want to see them bothered. We don't want to see. In fact, as proof of that guy, Hank. Yeah, we just trashed his gear and yeah, it's going to take a lot of cleaning before that rifle's going to fire anything other than Monster Energy drink. So look, we're on your side. So why don't we just work together? We can tone down the magic van thing, I think. Right, Cam? We can tone down the magic van thing?
Oh God. And Cam is she's turning the wheel constantly, even though it's not doing anything. And she's, still doing the loops around the gas station. And she goes, should I take the van over to the Discovery Museum?
Right now, Cassie is kind of unconsciously touching the burn on her neck, and she's looking out there and she says, "Yeah, we need to get over there right now." And she's about to climb over Josie out the door of the van.
And Cameron goes, I think I can make it go faster, and she'll turn the van towards the museum.
Okay. And he's going, bop, 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 bop. Okay, so what's Darcy gonna do?
Darcy is probably not sitting, she was sitting quietly to begin with, but then upon hearing sort of the alert to go towards this group, she immediately sort of tries to follow Cassie out of the car, because right now she feels like this person is getting angry and going towards this family because she messed with stuff.
Okay. So while all that's going on, Cassie is like, again, physically trying to climb over Josie to open the van door. Josie, how's that going for you? We've got a delay. That's all. Okay, so Allison, you got Cassie climbing over Josie, trying to go to the door of the van. What do you want to do about that?
Mm-hmm. I'll jump out and kind of follow her because we're having a conversation.
Yep. So you're getting out of the van. Cassie's getting out of the van. Darcy's getting out of the van. Cameron is slowly steering the magic van towards the Bigfoot Discovery Museum. So all that's happening. The big truck is blocking most of your view at this point. But you can hear shouting, and it's definitely one-sided. It's Hank Young shouting, and some like very meek responding from somebody on the other side. And that's all you can really tell based on where everything is. So everybody's head over that way. I didn't ask what Sullivan's doing.
So I'm sort of picturing like the van is moving like bumper boats, you know, at the carnival, where you turn the wheel and it slowly starts to do what you want if you're lucky. And as everyone else jumps out, I think he'll get out too, but he like holds onto the door in the window and he tries to help drive the van.
Okay. Yeah, and he is in shotgun right now, thanks to last session's shenanigans. So with all that, yeah, I don't know if there's much you can do that's really helping, because there is no way whatsoever this van is actually driving. This is weird. But you can kind of hang out the door and, you know, wave your hand, and you have a better vantage point. You can see over the truck, and Hank Young is about that close to Mr. Museum Guy at this point. His name is Mark Hansen, and yeah, he looks like he's getting very belligerent. His rifle is actually raised up over his head, like he's planning on doing something about that.
There could be violence. We should maybe get over there, he says to Cameron and everyone as they get out.
They're heading up there. So, okay, all that's going on. Let's flash forward about 5 more seconds. And by the time anybody can get over there, Hank Young is holding Mark Hansen by the front of his shirt, just like this, with 2 hands. And he's like physically hitting his back against the frame of the door. He has not let go of his rifle, which he's still holding in one hand, as he's pushing him back like this. As everybody runs up, you hear Hank say, "I don't care what you say you did. I know one of you got up there and messed with my truck and messed with my gun. You guys are always all over my stuff. I do not appreciate it. And you know what? Maybe it's time you learn to respect my things." And with that, he brings his hand back like he's about to hit him. This is really not well planned on my part. It's going to be his left hand because he is still holding the gun. And Darcy looks like she wants to do something.
I was going to say, could Darcy quickly step in between and just try stop the fist out of instinct, just grab it?
Yes, because I want that to happen. Okay. You got to roll for it. It's a might test. It's only difficulty of 3.
3. Okay. Do I have anything for this as well? Oh, I'm going to auto
By the way,
success.
guys. Okay.
No,
if you want to do that.
Sorry, I'll advantage.
Okay. Now, real quick, for people who might be tuning in at this point, we have a horror threshold, which is right below my name here on the screen. And that is the number which, when stuff is rolled, bad stuff happens. Right now, it's only 1. You can make a difference in this game by donating to make it better, by which I mean higher and more chance of bad stuff. So just in case anybody is interested, keep in mind that's how this game works. I didn't do my pitch at the beginning. Okay. For Darcy.
I'll just roll twice and then it's just see the other.
Okay, so we got a success. So he's got his left hand cocked back, moves forward, his fist is right there going towards Mark. And at that point, Darcy does what?
She is almost out of instinct. She's not doing this aggressively. She's just like, wait, like, and just stops it midair and holds it very, very tightly.
Now, how tall is Darcy?
5'4".
So keep in mind, this man is about 8 inches taller than you, and he would like people to think he works out on occasion. When he throws his fist forward, it is at the point where it should be hitting this man in the face. But you are holding his fist firmly in place. And he is looking at you with this, like, bizarre mix of terror and not awe, humility that he is not expected to display. And
now we let's talk it out. There's no need for violence. You know, like she says it awkwardly, but she's very much not moving her arm at all.
Is everybody else still running up at this point? Do we have Josie running up, Cassie running up? So with that, he
Yes.
looks over his shoulder. Okay, now Josie last time was Stacy, correct?
That's right.
Yeah, I believe that is our diner pickup name. So with that, he is now being held, and he sees you, and he goes, "What the heck? What are you and your friends doing? Get out of here! I'm trying to handle some business."
And as I'm approaching, kind of just walking, not too quickly, but walking, I go back into the Stacy voice for a second, and I'm, it's Hank Young. Look at that! And as I get closer and closer, I'm reaching behind my back to make an intimidation move as I get super close.
Okay. Anybody have anything else they want to do that is sooner than that? Otherwise, we can move to the intimidation move. Okay. Prepare to intimidate.
Yeah. So as I'm, just continuing to step up and counting on his kind of not having a handle on what's happening, I just very quickly draw my handgun and I'm right up, just probably pointing it right at his head.
Okay.
Yeah, Hank, you got the wrong guy, and I'm totally Josie now.
You are, what the hell?
Yeah, try again, Hank. I don't understand the question. Is there a question that you're asking, or?
Are you all Bigfoot sympathizer hippies like this guy here?
No, I just don't want you to punch him in the face.
He lets go of Mark with the one hand, like barely holding on to his gun with that hand still. And he says, "All right, let me go. Just let me go."
Darcy will look at Josie briefly, just like a glance, and then should I let go, or do you want to keep holding it?
The eyes I'm giving you are just, you're doing great, sweetie. Keep doing what you're doing.
And she's just gonna hold his hand more, like really awkwardly now, like they're both just there holding hands.
If you want me to walk away, let me go.
How do I know you're not gonna come back and punch him in the head?
Well, if I was staying here all day, I might as well just punch him in the head. Anyway, let go of me.
Say please.
Please.
And I let go of the hand. I don't move from in between them, but I let go of the hand.
He walks off.
You're welcome.
He stalks over to his truck.
Yeah.
You hear the of the very large truck starting up, and the of it now spinning out in the gravel driveway, and then backing up abruptly towards you, almost hitting the magic van and speeding off.
It's got no spark plugs.
Oh, dang it.
Yeah.
Now you're supposed to stop me before I do all that.
I
Okay.
tried.
Hear the sounds.
Thank you. Okay, he gets into the gigantic truck. There is no sound. You suddenly hear lots of like thumping, hitting. Gets out of the truck, slams the door, starts walking down the forest road back the direction you all came.
I just want to make sure that, before we leave this place, wherever it falls in the narrative, I want to make sure that I drop a HoroScoops business card on the dash of that truck. Just,
Okay,
yeah, that feels important.
that's good stuff. So thank you guys for reminding me about the spark plugs. That's one of the many excellent features from the last game I forgot clearly. So Hank Young is exiting the scene. You've got Mark Hansen, who's standing here again. He's a pretty average, boring-looking guy, and right now he just looks real startled. Cassie's standing there with all of you. Cameron, what are you going to do about this van?
I think as the group was converging on this, Cameron identifies a, I guess, parking spot in front of the Bigfoot Museum. And she's like, okay, just turn off the truck like you turned off the candle. Turn off the truck like you turned off the candle. And she's like gonna try to basically do the same thing she did to turn the truck on with magic, to turn it off with magic.
Okay, so you have to roll and just not get a 1.
I can do that. Intellect?
Sure.
That's usually what magic is.
I agree.
Okay.
It's always just the don't roll a 1. That's all we're looking for the entire time. So it's perfect. Okay, so with that, the truck has stopped. It's not doing anything now. It's just there, the van. And yeah, Sullivan can put his sword down and walk out of the door of the van if he so wants. Okay.
Yeah, I think he joins everyone else by Mark Hansen.
Yeah, so Mark Hansen is standing outside the front of the Bigfoot Discovery Museum. And as you all walk up, he goes, thanks for the help.
You hear the safety flick back on Josie's handgun, and she holsters it again in the small of her back. Yeah, glad to help. Glad to help. Sorry about that. That was probably our fault.
I'm going to turn on the coffee maker, and maybe do you all want to tell me a little bit about what's going on? I mean, I would love to know if I've got to keep looking out for Hank Young again.
I think maybe Hank Young's gonna feels like he's got bigger things to worry about right now, but you probably know him better than we do.
I mean, unfortunately, I've met him before, but yeah, we can kind of share information if you want to do that. And I can show you the museum.
I'm kind of looking around at the rest of the gang.
For a museum tour.
Also, Bill did say we were supposed to meet someone here. I'm guessing it was Mark.
Bill from HoroScoops?
Yep.
Bill Chen, right? Yeah, I talked to him on the phone the other day.
Yep, we're the team from HoroScoops.
Okay. Weird. Yeah. Cool. Cool, man. Yeah. Yeah, why don't you guys come in and I'll show you the museum, and I've got coffee. I mean,
sounds great.
Turns the key, opens the door, and as you all head into the Bigfoot Discovery Museum, let's do a different scene. Let's talk about... Dun, 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 dun. I'm sliding between all my scenes. Let's talk about the dreamscape. Actually, before we even do that, let's talk about the HoroScoops office where none of you are. But you know who is there still? Agatha. And she's sitting on the edge of her bed. She's been texting or something on the phone. You never know what she's doing on her phone, but it's on the phone. And she looks up and her mother's standing there. The last time we saw Sophia Chen, she was kind of fading a little bit. She's been losing some of that ghostly glow, so she looks kind of washed out in the scene. And Agatha looks at her and she says, okay, Agatha, there's more stuff we've got to do. We've got to handle something else important. And Agatha says, okay. And she puts her phone down and she says, look, Sophie says to Agatha, you need to go help your friend. Agatha just kind of nods. Sophie says, get the spell book, You're going to need to go into the dreamscape and just, I think you need to give him some help. Okay. Agatha kind of prepares herself, gets some things going. You can tell there's like a little bit of meditation, mind calming, and she grabs this big spell book and she's holding it across her chest like this, and she's laying down on her bed. And we get that great movie scene where her eyes close, and like the closed eyes, just everything goes black. And then the camera kind of like pans up from the ground, and Agatha's just standing there wearing her very nice, like fashionable, slightly witchy wardrobe. She's got like a short black sweater, white top with like a big frilly thing here in the middle. She's wearing like a real long skirt. And in this case, she is, in addition to having all of her like, you know, kind of curly, wavy hair going back, she's actually wearing a very broad hat with a small peak to it. And she's looking around in the darkness for a second, and the camera like kind of swings to the side, and Lewis is lying on the ground on his side, and he's not really moving. And Agatha shifts so that she's right next to Lewis and bends down real low. She's got that big spell book, and she puts it down on the ground. She says, Lewis, get up. Come on, you can't stay here. Lewis, I look like a fool. Get up.
Can I get up?
Sure.
I want to open my eyes, but stay laying down for a second. Because I'm enjoying it a little too much.
You're a faker. And your hair, you have a bald spot up here.
No, I don't.
I knew that would work. That's it. Karma. Oh, so good.
I really hope that Lewis also like hit his hand on some invisible force.
If there had been something, you would have hit your hand on it. So that's great. Look, you're fine. You just have to get up.
Only if you admit that we're best friends.
I'm not going to admit to that.
Then I'm not getting up.
Sparky said if I was your best friend, she would fight you. They would fight you.
It's a tear.
No one understands how that works except you.
It works the way tears work. It's like a pyramid.
Okay. But you have this much energy where we can have this big long conversation about all your friendship weirdness. Why don't you just stand up and we can get out of here? It's not healthy for you.
You know that you're my best friend and that I'm your best friend. And I'll get up.
Sparky is definitely going to fight you.
Sparky will also be my best friend. They just don't know it yet.
They're a little bit shy. Look, are you okay? Like, does everything feel right?
Yeah, I feel fine.
Okay, because you realize you're not in your body right now, right?
Oh. That explains a lot, actually. Like, why
That's
nobody's here.
Right. Okay, so I think something happened to you, right? And I think you're going to have to probably deal with it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm a witch. And you're in the dream world and your spirit is out of your body. So I kind of already have an idea something's wrong.
Okay, what's wrong?
All the stuff I said.
Oh. What do we do about it?
You have to get up and go back in your body.
How do I just walk back to my body?
Do you know the way back to your body?
No.
Okay. I'm going to take you back.
Okay. Sorry, a cat just jumped on the table and scared me.
It's all real HoroScoop stuff. It's all how it's supposed to go. Scary cats are part of the game for sure. Okay.
I don't own cats. This isn't something in my life.
Oh, it's so good. They're definitely familiars. They are definitely there, actually contributing to the game right now. So Agatha holds out her hand and says, I'm going to take you back to your body, okay?
Are we holding hands?
Yes, because you're going to get lost if we don't.
Oh, I'm so excited. I very eagerly grab her hand.
Okay. And she's doing you have the edge of her hand. She's not doing anything with her hand as you do this. And you both start walking kind of in the dark. Lewis, you're going to have to solve this. Whatever it is.
Okay. How?
I don't know. I mean, you're going to have to figure out what's missing. Whatever it is that got you this weird curse, you're going to have to figure out how to get rid of it.
Okay.
I mean, do you remember how this all started?
I mean, yeah, I do.
Well, I mean, you have to be honest with yourself about that. And if you can find the answer, I mean, you know a couple witches now. You're not doing this by yourself.
I know. I was gonna talk to them and see if they can help me out, but I didn't get the chance.
Okay. You get to make a intellect roll at this point if you are interested in doing so. And I'm taking a real quick look at Lewis's character sheet to try to ease the process. Nope. You're gonna have to make a difficulty 4 roll if you are interested in making an intellect roll here.
Oh, oh no, I'm just gonna do it.
Okay, it's about Agatha, just so you know.
Ooh, I'm okay. Oh, I'm gonna use an advantage. I'm gonna use my
I had a feeling that
advantage.
might influence your decision there, so perfect.
Okay.
Well, the good news is I don't have to tell you anything. The good news is also you didn't trigger the horror threshold. So, okay. So she's just walking along. She goes, okay, you should talk to them about that. And she says, okay, just stand there. Are you ready?
Yeah. Are we still holding hands?
No, because now she's looking straight at you and she kind of leans in like this. And she's got her hands out in front of her. She's leaning in towards you. And she pushes you and you fall backwards into the darkness. And you can just kind of feel space moving behind you. And we get that excellent shot where Lewis is in the folded up taco futon in the back of the van. And his eyes open.
Oh, food. I'm definitely gonna grab the food and start eating.
The best. So outside of the van, everybody is going into the Bigfoot Discovery Museum. So once again, we have left Lewis behind, but for right now, the Bigfoot Discovery Museum is one long room. This is almost like a mobile home that's just been kind of divided with very cubicle dividers. There's small fabric dividers here and there. There's one wall where there's a TV and a VCR. Yes, a VCR. And Mark Hansen goes over there and he starts it up so that he can play for you this grainy footage that's going across the screen of a Sasquatch walking, and it looks like they're crossing across some trees. And then it's 5 seconds of video, and then it goes and into a documentary. where it's describing this Bigfoot footage and how this is very important and it's clearly not a hoax, and it goes on like that for some time. And then there are several like dioramas. There's actually what looks like it's like a wax figure type sculpture of Bigfoot in one part of the museum. There are several photographs that have been taken around the area that show different kinds of blurs that look roughly Bigfoot shaped. There is a ubiquitous donation box. And there's a little kitchenette where they have coffee and the powdered kind of creamer and nothing else remotely good. Yep, they've got sugar, and it just says sugar on the box. So, and then the pink stuff that's bad for you. So all that's there. And Mark is putting the powdered creamer and the pink stuff into his coffee and dabbing at it with one of those sticks that doesn't do anything. And then looking at you all and saying, so yeah, that's pretty much the museum. I mean, really, it's one of those things. It's hard to get a lot of like scientific research really devoted to. We're really trying to push for more science. I talk to the university all the time, but funds are scarce.
Yeah. And Josie's just sort of wandering around looking at the photos and the plaster casts of oddly shaped footprints and notices the VCR, and she's just like, the VCR itself is probably the most interesting thing in this museum. So she's kind of into it and just sort of half listening, and almost in her own world just a little bit. I wonder if, just sort of looking around, are there any things here that I can see that others can't?
That's a good question. No, this museum is very, very boring. There is nothing spectacular about this museum. Being in here, even the smell is that like, this is carpet smell. So everything is like as boring and generic as possible here.
Okay. Yeah. All about the VCR then.
And really, the VCR is the most interesting thing, because this documentary, according to the clock, because it's doing the minus countdown, it's like an hour and 15 minute of countdown on this tape. There was 10 seconds of Bigfoot, and now you've got this guy who's wearing basically the Mark Hansen outfit. He has the plaid shirt. He's wearing a pair of jeans that are, the shirt's tucked into the jeans, and he has his hands like very gently crossed so that he can kind of go on like this. He has no tone, and he continues talking about the Bigfoot, and he's referring to places, and then he'll say like, and the Native Americans used to call this place, and it just keeps going on and on, and it's a lot.
I think Sullivan's standing there. He's like put the sword down with his hands on top of the hilt, and he's watching the video, and he's slowly like nodding off because it's been a long morning already.
It's true. And I wonder if you were the first time that a sword has ever come in this museum. I'm kind of hoping so, but I'm not positive.
Darcy is she wanders around for a bit, takes her camera out and snaps some photos of the museum, and sort of wanders around and looks for a gift shop. She hasn't been somewhere like this before. She's just going, huh.
There is a gift shop, and I should have pointed out, for both Josie and Darcy's point sake, the lighting here is the fluorescent yellow of a office. There is no natural lighting at this time of day yet with the trees and all like that, so it is bland. All the photos have that really warm, washed out look to them. I'm trying to make this as bad as humanly possible for all of you, just so we're clear. And yes, there is a gift shop. There are 3 t-shirts. They are all size extra large. And by 3 t-shirts, I mean 3 designs, but they are all size extra large. And additionally, you can get a Bigfoot water bottle, if that's something you're interested in. It's a very nice steel water bottle. That looks good. That's like $35. And there is a variety of keychains. So most of them say things like, I saw Bigfoot at the Bigfoot Discovery Museum, Bigfoot Discovery Museum.
Darcy's looking around like, do you do magnets?
Oh,
or
we
Bigfoot snow globes.
Ooh, snow globes. And he reaches into his shirt pocket where he has a old-fashioned memo notebook and turns it over, and he starts writing on that with a little golf pencil.
Oh,
I will keep that in mind.
Just a thought, yeah. And she sort of goes around, like, you know, the little bits with the key rings, or if there's like the pencils and the rubbers and the sharpeners and stuff, if there's like a tray of those. She's mainly sort of looking around, but trying to have a look around at the same time.
I appreciate Mac quoting me on the I'm trying to make this as bad as humanly possible for all of you. I like how this is the opposite of the horror meter. We don't have any horror threshold being triggered. We just make things bland and fluorescent colored. It's great. So with that, yeah, there is nothing to see here. After about 5 minutes, your investigative skills so carefully honed over the last several episodes, you found out more on the internet in that 5-minute search that Cameron did it back at the office the very first time. So, but if you guys want to really talk to Mark about Bigfoot, he can talk Bigfoot. Cassie has sidled up to Sullivan and says, "Hey, if you guys want to just get out of here, we can get out of here."
What? I mean, yeah. Are they done talking?
I'm not really paying attention because I've heard this so much. Look, we can just get out of here, and if you want to go see a Bigfoot, and she looks at her watch, it's actually a pretty good time.
Oh yeah, totally. We should do that then. I'll round everyone up.
And Cassie says, "Okay, Mark, nice seeing you. Bye," and walks out the door. Yeah, okay. See everybody later.
As we're going out, Mark, thank you. If you have any problems with Hank, would you just call us? You have... Actually, I'm just going to give you my number. Don't bother Bill with this. And I give him my number.
He writes it in his steno notebook and says, you all are prepared in case cell coverage goes down, right? Because there's a lot of dead zones out there when you go into the forest.
Yes. Yeah, we're well prepared for that.
Okay, and he hands you a flyer, like a brochure, trifold, for the museum. He says, the museum number's on there, so you can just call me. I'll be here all day. It's 3rd of July, so, there's going to be a lot of visitors and tourists that come through.
Yeah. Well, good luck. I hope it's a great day.
Yeah, thanks.
Hand out.
And Cassie is standing outside, arms crossed. What's Sullivan doing outside?
I think he gets outside and he puts the sword over his shoulders. He's just like, "Oh God, I need a nap."
Can't believe you brought a sword into the museum.
I mean, it's come in really handy lately. I'm not leaving it in the van.
So Cassie and Sullivan are having this conversation as everybody else walks out. Did you expect that there was going to be a giant monster that jumped out in the Bigfoot Discovery Museum while you were standing there looking at that old VHS tape?
I was driving down the highway and the car got struck by lightning, so yes. I mean, it's been a really weird couple of days, okay?
As everybody else walks out, Cassie says, "Now you can see honestly why I am terrified of somebody like a Mark Hansen actually meeting a creature, can't you? By the way, Lewis, there's a lot of loud talking right outside this van."
And Pockets is yelling at you if you woke up and moved.
I pet him.
He lets you pet him, but he's still mad that you woke up because he was sleeping too.
There's a lot of food in that box, though.
Yeah, you better not let him eat any of that. It's probably bad for him.
Oh, I 100% am letting him eat some. You didn't warn me in advance. Yeah.
Yep.
You gotta say this stuff before I do it.
It's true. So Cassie continues to rebuke Sullivan. Look, all of you, realistically, Mark Hansen terrifies me. Because somebody like that, thinking they can walk around in these woods and they will just be fine and taking pictures. I've never seen a Bigfoot have any problems with any person, but they would tear him in half.
Well,
so you say that like it's a bad thing.
Yes, normal people being torn in half is definitely a bad thing.
And like Mark Hansen, though, we're not talking, or not Mark Hansen, but Hank, though. We're talking about Hank here.
No, I'm not talking about Hank. I'm talking about Mark Hansen. I'm talking about that guy in there.
Oh, well, yeah, no, we don't want that to happen.
I think he used to be like office guy in the city. You know?
I mean, he definitely
like
screams some kind of accountant to me.
Yeah, it's bad. I mean, imagine that guy actually meeting some sort of giant mythical creature. But anyways, Hank Young, that's just a dog that needs to get put down. Somebody needs to take care of him without it looking too obvious.
I mean, Darcy sort of walked out. She does that sort of like stretch because she's outside, sees like Cassie and sort of puts her arms down and walks to the other side of the group. Looks like she's about to say something to Cassie, but then completely realizes she sort of retreats it back. It's a nice day. Like she's sort of saying it to herself more than anything.
Yeah, so you have about 45 minutes before there's full sunlight out here. It's going to be a bit. If you guys want to go out into the park, I can show you some spots you might be able to see the Bigfoots.
At that, Cameron pulls up her phone and she, in the museum, she was pretty interested in everything until it became clear she'd already done all this research. So she's been looking at that map again that Darcy stole from Hank that had those 3 spots circled. And she pulls them up, kind of zooms in and shows it to Cassie and says, "Are any of these those spots? Like, is this close?"
Oh, where did you get that from?
You're not going to like it.
I'm not going to like it, am I?
Hank,
Yeah, damn it.
Coming pretty close.
I mean, he seems like the kind of guy, there's a big coffee stain on the map. He seems like the kind of guy who would put a coffee cup on a map. But I mean, that's really close. That's unfortunate. These are really spot on.
Then yeah, we probably should go quick.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Do you guys want to take my truck? You're gonna have to bunch up in the back.
Yes, we do.
You're not gonna leave this van here like this, are you?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
I could spooky pirate ship it again. Maybe. I think I could.
Yeah.
I did it once.
Yeah, you could. Okay. However you want to do it. We can take my car. I don't think you should be driving that van around like that down the street.
In my defense, I thought I would actually fix it.
Sure. Yeah.
I think Sullivan just claps Cameron on the shoulders like, "You did fine."
Cameron like mouths like, "Thank you, Adam."
I, Hans, am proud of you. Cassie is disgusted by you, but those are 2 totally different things going on right there.
The dichotomy of man.
That's right. Yep. The hardest part about being game master is you just want to be proud of all of your friends and all of their great accomplishments, but the NPCs don't like them, so what are you gonna do? Okay. So, in the back of the van, hey Lewis, how was the breakfast?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I think I'm finishing up. I'm just waiting for a good time to announce myself to everybody. Need to make it the grandest of entrances.
Okay, well,
Pocket steals a sausage and runs out of the van.
How did he open the van, though? Just say.
I had a window open, thank you, because I was holding on to the door.
but there are no electrics in this van right now. Just a reminder, Lewis, the van is functionally broken.
Perfect.
Yeah. So enjoy.
Thanks.
But yeah, Pocket steals a sausage and jumps out the window and comes running, and Sullivan's just like, "What do you have? No!"
Hey.
And there's like that red grease getting all over the pavement. Yep.
It's like, hey, that was for Lewis.
Pockets yells at everyone and eats it.
So has Pockets communicated anything to Sullivan that might be relevant at this point? Or is this just
Uh,
shouting and mine?
I would imagine in between shouting, "This is mine, you can't have it," there's, "Oh yeah, your friend's awake."
Or I was gonna say, as soon as Cameron said, "Hey, that's for Lewis," Lewis would open the door and say, "That's me."
Oh my gosh,
The
you're
door was
awake.
surprisingly hard to open too.
That's what I'm strong-ish.
That's right. That's right.
Yes, Darcy. I'm awake. I'm here.
Lewis, how are you feeling?
Good. How about you?
Good. I haven't been unconscious in Witch World all morning, though.
So
Oh, yeah, it
here's a
was fun.
fun Lewis thing real quick before we get any farther. Lewis, you have no fanny pack. Your fanny pack is gone. You have no candle. Your candle is gone. Your hand has this ghostly green flame kind of floating off it right now as all this is going on.
I wish you would told me that before I opened the door, because I
It's
would
more
have
fun
looked
this
for
way.
my fanny pack.
It's more fun this way. But Lewis is fine. And
Where's my
all of this
fanny
is-
pack? Can I go back in and look for my fanny pack?
sure, you can go back and look for your fanny pack. You find it because it just got removed with everybody moving you back and forth, and there is nothing in it.
Who took my candle? Did one of you guys take this? Why was my fanny pack not on?
Josie's just sort of looking around at the others.
I mean, I'm the one who.
I mean, we didn't take anything from you.
No, we tacoed you up and put you in the van.
Yeah, we were in the van, it got struck by lightning. A lot happened. Maybe it fell off then? I don't know. I'm sorry, Lewis.
You had the candle in the witchy place for a while. He says, not saying that it might be his fault it's gone.
Okay, but where is it now? I didn't have it when I became conscious in that place.
Are we able to see the green glowing that you described, Hans?
Yeah, it's probably honestly it's probably at this point going more and more up his arms until he essentially is encased in this.
It's not as vibrant and strong as it was previously, but Lewis has like a nimbus of flame.
Can we feel heat from it from this distance?
No. Josie, you are probably the most aware of the concept of heat occurring here, but it's not like a real flame right now.
What is that? Like, just sort of gestures at Lewis.
It's a rude question to ask.
The glow. What's with the glow?
It's a very rude question.
Sorry.
So there's a lady here you don't know, Lewis, who has a big burn scar down the side of her neck, dark-skinned lady, and she just kind of like taps Josie on the shoulder and says, "You should probably just let him talk about stuff when he's ready." It's probably one of those weird things.
Yeah, you found that that's the best way to deal with those weird things is to just let people talk about them when they're ready.
You know, you all are so very like aggressive and like straightforward compared to me. I just hide things and don't tell people about him personally, so I can kind of sympathize with the guy. You know.
Yeah. So at this point, asking you why you're not a demon hunter anymore would be too forward and aggressive. Am I reading you right? Am I picking up what you're putting down here, Cassie?
Yeah, I mean, you're really one of my least favorite people nowadays. It's just hard because I don't want you talking to other people who live here in Felton. I mean, I get it. You're super tough and stuff. It's just, I really like, there's a lot of hard conversations I didn't really expect to have today. But anyways, hey kid, I know what it's like to not want to talk about stuff that's going on.
Thank you. I hope, it's a weird question, but I hope that wasn't from me. I don't know how long I've been like this.
Okay, look at this. This is very well healed over time. This is not like something that happened 5 minutes ago. No, this is a while ago.
Okay, I just want to make sure. I don't know how. I've never actually. I don't know. I don't know. Thank you. I appreciate your support.
Anyways, if you want to go into the woods, come find me. I'm going back to the station. And Cassie starts walking back towards the gas station.
If you see a candle, please let me know. I'm missing mine.
Can it be like any candle? I think maybe the Bigfoot Museum had one that was like, I mean, it was like a foot long and it was in the shape of a Bigfoot. Would that work?
It was pine scented.
Oh no, definitely not. No, it's a specific one. It's black and the flame doesn't go out.
Oh, interesting.
That was on point.
I remember my backstory.
I meant the spooky laughter in the background. We had some good spooky laughter by a non-credited person.
Oh, was that me? I'm not paying attention to my background.
My kids have been yelling and my dog's been barking. It's okay.
I'm so confused. Okay, well, I'm gonna keep looking in the van.
Okay. There are no candles in the van.
Where could this have gone, you guys? I had it. I obviously had it. And apparently I had it in the dream world, and then when I became conscious in the dream world, it wasn't there. What happened in between you seeing it and me being conscious? Did something happen? Did I have it when you left?
There was a fight with, I think, a witch, based on what I saw, and you had the candle, and then when the fight was over, you didn't have the candle in the dream thing, witchy world, whatever it is.
Okay. Well, I guess I can't go anywhere.
Lewis, were you with anyone in the dream world?
Yeah, I was going to tell you that I was with Agatha, but that seems unimportant. I need to figure out where this is.
Did you say you can't leave here without it?
Well, that's what all of this is. I am like this without it. I need it.
So I have no idea how the dream world works, but I've read like a fuck ton of comic books, and usually when if you lose something in the dream world, maybe you have to go back to find it there in the dream world.
But in the dream, how do I go back? Can you take me back to the dream world?
I don't know. Yeah, Josie, Sullivan, y'all were there. How'd y'all get there?
Well, Sophia took me there. I I don't think I could have gotten there or come back on my own. Sully, what about you?
I was trying to check on Lewis and see if he was still alive in this world and somehow got pulled in.
Lewis, maybe we could try to... I mean, Sully managed to get in on your own somehow, if I'm hearing you right, Sully. Maybe we could try to go back in. If we're going to catch this Bigfoot, we don't have a lot of time. But this is really important to you, Lewis, isn't it?
I need this.
Okay. Well, that settles it then. I
mean, I don't know if I can get back. The witch, I think, pulled Lewis in to that, and I got pulled in through Lewis, I think, because I remember, Josie, when I got there, all those people with you, some of them were still connected to the witch, and so was Lewis, whereas we weren't. So I don't know, Lewis, we could call Agatha. She might know. She's a witch.
Before we lose service.
Yeah, let's... She's still in the group chat, right?
No.
Not yet. Yeah, I think she left the group chat. I don't know. Do whatever.
Well, that's
whatever
easy
you
to
want.
fix.
Agatha has
Let's
been
just
added
go
to the
back.
group chat.
Lewis just goes into the van and goes into the back seat, just closes the door and slams it shut. He's pretty upset at this point.
Darcy sort of looks over the other side. Should I talk to him?
Josie looks to Sullivan and to yes, I think that would be good. Meanwhile, we can try to get back in. I think we should try, at least. And we can reach out to Agatha. I can see if I can get in contact with Sophia in some way. Cam, I don't know. What do you think?
Well, if the first witch who drug everyone in did it from far away, then I don't know, maybe we could ask Agatha to pull us all, or to pull Lewis, or I don't know. Maybe Agatha can pull all of us into the dreamscape from far away. Or, I don't know, I keep hearing the word witch thrown around a lot. Maybe Agatha could tell me how to do it and I could try. I don't know.
Darcy is slowly moving towards the van as to where Lewis was.
Okay. So let's deal with Darcy. So this door is fairly well slammed. How are you going into the van?
Oh, she's knocking first. She's just knocking on the side of the van, like, no.
Yes.
Can I come in?
Do whatever you want.
Okay. And with that, she's just gonna try and open the door.
Okay. Let's not have a roll on this. I can't think of any ways of rolling is more fun here. Let's just go ahead and open the door. There's a You know, like this door is getting kind of wrenched out of shape at this point. It keeps getting open and closed without that power assist.
Yeah, she sort of opens the door. She doesn't get in the van, but Lewis will probably see that head sort of poke around the corner and be like, hi. It's that awkward like smile. It's like, how are you doing? I mean, not like how you doing, but like, can I help at all? Like maybe we could look for your candle. Look, let's look for the candle. We didn't check underneath the taco thingy. And she sort of climbs in and starts looking underneath the food and stuff like that.
There's not a lot of room to move around in this van, so Darcy being slightly clumsy, there are now a few extra like divots in the sides of the van. Maybe a headrest gets knocked loose. I think that's fair.
She's like, nearly. And like, let's pop that back out and like just bang on the side. It's like, and Darcy, I assume I don't find anything.
No candles.
Yeah, and she sort of stands at the other side of the van, even though it's a very small van. Other than trying to find your candle, can I help in any other way? Like, what is this?
I need that candle. I've never told anybody this, but this is a curse.
A curse? And she sort of like does that awkward sit down, probably knocking a few things over as she goes. And she's like, you can tell me if you want. That's like what the best friend is for.
You see the slightest little like smile, and he's like, I'm in the best friend tier.
Well, I'm in yours, right? Whoa, we're still in the best friend tier, right?
Of course you're in my best friend tier, but usually I get people questioning my tier system. They call it confusing.
I'm sure it is, but don't be ridiculous. And she sort of shuffles forwards. It's like, what is it? What curse? How? What? Like, and sort of looks mildly intrigued, but more concerned than intrigued. Like, do you just glow?
Oh no. And he puts his hand towards you, and it's a very calculated distance away from you, and you start to feel the heat coming off of his skin. And he says, this is why I carry a fire extinguisher everywhere I go. This is all fire.
Okay. And she just nods. And what, you just combust? Like, she's just sort of looking at you like, and reaches out towards the hand and does feel the heat, and it's like, that's okay.
It's not okay. You can't just walk around being on fire.
No. But, and she sort of pauses there and says, it doesn't mean like it's a problem. We'll get you gloves. That's what we'll do. We'll get you gloves. We'll get you something. I mean, look, it's
right
not.
Through
it's,
them. I've tried before.
You just need to learn to control it. That's what you need to do. It's easy. You work it out. It's fine. We can like It's
Darcy. I've had this since I was 7. I've tried everything.
I could show you. I could show you. I'm sure I can. Look, and she does, and she generates a flame at the palm of her hand. See, it's not a bad thing. Well, it's kind of a bad thing, but you just work it out.
I wish I had.
What does Darcy's flame look like?
It is very, very red, and it looks almost molten rather than like almost like a flickery sort of. It does flicker and move, but it is very, very controlled in the palm of her hand. maybe with like a tint of the green and blue at the end, like when a Bunsen burner gets too warm. See, look, and then, whoo, and she sort of just closes her palm and it goes away. She does shake it a little bit, because as she extinguishes it, there's a little bit of smoke that goes between her fingers. She's like, see, it's fine. Like, you just work it out. It's fine. We can work it out. This isn't like we it's fine.
How much do you know about flames and extinguishing them?
To be fair, generating it is more my speciality. But I guess it's like a mental thing. Like, you know, you focus, you work out on how to, and she starts like jabbering, and she's like, okay, so if you get really, really mad at something, you take a deep breath and you step back and you pause and you regain control again. It's like that. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's easier said than done.
I'm not talking about me. That candle, it has a flame that doesn't. I've tried to extinguish it so many times, and it doesn't go out.
Okay.
And I'm hoping that I've been searching for so long, and if I can just find a way to extinguish that flame, I think all of this.
Do you think extinguishing it is a good thing?
Of course. You extinguish the flame, you extinguish the fire. Solid logic.
Yes. But I don't think everything is logical. You know, nothing's logical really. But you know, it's maybe like I say, you don't have to put it out because things can be. What happened? Like, as she sort of like moves forward a little bit more, like you said when you were 7, something happened.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm like crossing like
no,
the boundary, like that's fine.
This all started when I was 7, and at the beach. Oh, whoops. Yes, Hans. I sent it in the. I'm not going to.
So okay, we're on that scene. So let's flash away, as we love to do, as is so important. I'm going to take a second and try to calibrate this music here, because I think this is what I want, but I don't know. I should point out, I can never tell musical tracks apart by name, so I have to always run them and then decide if they're terrible or not. So, Santa Cruz. About, what, 12 years ago? Maybe a little more than that?
Yeah, like 12 to 15 years ago.
Let's say 15 years ago. In the morning. Before the light's really out. On the beach. You've got that gray, overcast sky. As there's just clouds rolling in. Everything's very cold. You can hear that hard splash of waves hitting onto the rocks. It's a very rocky shore most places in the area. And this is not really on like the beach where you would go to swim, but this is just a little ways off. So you can hear that hard splash of the waves hitting the rocks, that rolling sound as they go away. There's that strong salt smell in the air, but there's another like meaty, salty smell here as well. I'm going to turn this volume down a little bit before we all go mad. So all this is kind of in the background. The space between the woods and the beach in this part of Santa Cruz is very close. So Lewis has been maybe doing some early morning exploring from a little beach cabin that his parents have rented. What do you think Lewis was originally looking for?
I don't know that he was looking for anything in particular. He kind of likes to take the trails that lead away from the cabin, and like every morning he kind of goes and explores another trail for as long as he can. And so he was kind of just exploring, seeing like what is there out here.
Maybe we would have gotten like a cool seashell, some awesome
Yeah.
driftwood that could make like a cool pirate sword, things
Absolutely.
like that.
Yeah.
But instead, as you're cresting this sand dune that leads up into the little scrubby beach that's out in front of this cabin, there is a ring that's been drawn in the sand. It's heavy, it's been drawn thick, and then the ring is studded with tall black candles. And their flames are glowing, not even like a proper candlelight, but like a deep orange, like if somebody was dropping like something crimson into the light and it was kind of reflecting back. And there are 3 figures. They're a lot taller than Lewis. They're probably adults, but they also look hunched, and their work is on the ground. So their bodies are doubled over. They're wearing long, flowing black garments. And there's something happening in between these 3 figures, and it's not really clear to Lewis what that is.
Yeah, so Lewis is gonna kind of go up top, like lay and like kind of try to be hidden, but still try to watch what is going on.
And there's like an extra smell here, which is like, it's like very fresh fishy, but also like there's something really tangy irony in the air. It's a lot, and it's different, and it's kind of reminding Lewis of the pier, but it's also maybe something different. It just doesn't make sense. And these 3 creatures are all very busy. And you also hear what sounds like scratching, or maybe tearing, whatever is going on.
You just hear this from Lewis. I don't know if my mic picked that up, but it was a gasp. I can't hear.
You're doing great. Not doing the hand sign anymore. Doing great.
And yeah, he tries to stay where he is, but definitely like, yeah.
So there's a lot of like scrabbling limbs. If you can imagine like coming down, like everything's down and moving like this. And then suddenly one of these heads comes up and it is just covered with wiry like snarls of hair, white and black, kind of like shooting all around. And you can see the pointed silhouette of a nose, like a face in profile. The skin looks very, very sallow. Very, very sallow. And the creature looks up and says, "Sisters, let us take now this chance by blood and flesh to our power enhance. With this fresh offering let us throw off the chains of the beast below." And there is a cracking, popping sound as this creature is grabbing something and holding it up into the light. And you see dripping in the morning light, it looks black that fades to red, as they are holding a lump of flesh up into the air above the level of their heads.
I'm gonna scoot just a little bit closer to try to kind of see what the lump of flesh is.
Yeah, and Lewis scoots up and scoots up, and by the time you realize that you scooted up, you're almost touching this ring, and you can see there's a pale figure on the beach, and there you see scales and a long, delicate tail. But the upper half of this creature looks a lot like a woman, with her chest laid open. And you hear something take a bite. And these 3 figures are all reaching up and kind of They're kind of connected. They're touching over the top of this creature, and you're right there, and you're right on the edge of the ring, and there's a candle right there near your hand. And what does Lewis do that makes just a little bit of noise?
So he tries to back up, but kind of loses footing, and then he makes this whole like.
There's just a few rocks that go sliding under his boot. And all three sets of eyes turn, and you can see them. They're like glowing coals, and they're looking right at you. You're right at the edge of that ring. There's a candle right there near your hand.
I'm gonna grab the candle and run.
And when that happens, there is this howl. It's three voices, but they're in perfect harmony, and it raises up into the heavens. And behind you, it's like something has been lit on fire. This screech, it just continues. And as Lewis runs, and I don't even know if Lewis knows where he's going, and you see trees, and you start feeling leaves and long pine boughs underneath your feet, and scrabbling, and there's dirt underneath your nails, and you've got this candle in your hand, and you look at it, and it's still lit perfectly.
As soon as I'm like, kind of, okay. And I'm like, they were still able, okay. And he tries to blow out the candle.
And nothing happens. The candle flame doesn't move at all. It remains perfectly upright the whole time.
And he just goes again and again and again
And
until
nothing.
he's like almost, it's almost like he's hyperventilating and he gets
you
out
get
of
that like
breath.
pressure at the corners of your vision. You start feeling like a little bit of fuzziness. Yeah. What are you going to do with the candle now?
And then he takes the candle, this left hand, and he just tries to chuck it, like, almost along the dirt path unconsciously, or subconsciously, I guess, but he just chucks it away.
And you throw it, and you see it rolling, and that flame is continually burning the whole time. And then suddenly you look down, and your fingers, you can see like at the tips of your fingernails, flame starts to build up, like just like the little flame on a match. And then it gets bigger and bigger, and pretty soon it goes all the way up your arm. And this first time you can smell your shirt smoldering.
I take my shirt off, and
it goes in, ignites like flash paper at that point.
Oh no! What's going on? What do I do? Okay. And he's gonna go run after that candle again.
Yeah, and the second that Lewis has it in his hand, the flames go out.
And he's gonna place the candle down in front of him, and he's gonna stay crouched while he does this and see what happens.
And this is the beginning of Lewis's many experiments with what can I do with this candle, and what happens, and what has happened to me. When you went home that day, it was like breakfast time, and you hadn't even been out that long. And I'm going to imagine your dad read you the riot act over your missing shirt, and the fact that you've been traipsing around in the woods for hours without properly covering up, and yada, yada, yada. And it's probably immediately apparent to Lewis that he can't tell his parents anything about what's going on.
Oh yeah, no, he just makes up like, oh, I'm sorry. I know you've always told me not to do it. And it's kind of like he checked out pretty much, and just saying what he thinks his dad will say, like not even focusing on the fact that he's getting lectured at all.
Which is probably a good time to kind of like bring the scene back to the space behind Lewis's eyes as he thinks about all of this stuff that's gone in the past, and Darcy saying that it's not that bad, and they can probably work it out.
So, yeah, I thought that I could save that mermaid if I had just broken their circle. And looking back, that was so dumb, obviously. They were already gone, but I had no idea this would be the result.
You were 7. You tried to save a mermaid, as she sort of like almost realizes it herself. She's like, but you were 7. And now, so does it hurt? Like this, the glow?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't hurt. I mean, I could still get burned by other fire, but this, feels warm.
Well, then we'll find it. We'll find the candle. That's what we'll do. That's fine. We'll find the candle.
What if it's lost in that dream witch space? Like, what am I?
I mean, Sully went right on in there. I'm sure he can do it again.
I don't know. Just,
I mean, there's some weird stuff happening right now. So at the moment, anything is possible.
I guess.
And finding a candle, I think, is one of the most likely things we're going to do.
I hope so. I can't go back into town like this. I can't be seen like this. There's literally only one other person that knows about this.
Okay, well, we don't have to tell anyone. We don't have to tell anyone at all about this. We'll just... You've got an aura. I mean, witches do stuff like that, right? You can... We'll... I don't know, this... You'll be fine. We're a group of interesting people. You missed the magic van bit earlier, but that's more obvious than this, so... It's gonna be okay. And she sort of reaches out, and it's that weird, hesitant, like, hand, like, and that awkward, just flat hand on the shoulder. Just like, it is, really. We'll find the candle. That's like at the top of the list. And then we'll sort out this, we might even find it on the way to Bigfoot.
I guess. I don't know.
What did you think? That I'd think less of you or something? Or that it would change a friendship? What? So you glow. You set stuff on fire. I set stuff on fire. At least you thought to bring a fire extinguisher. Maybe use it next time. But what I'm saying is... it's okay.
This isn't just something people accept normally.
No.
And it's not something I wanted to accept.
I think there's a lot of stuff going on in this world right now that people don't know about. I didn't believe in werewolves until last week. I didn't know they existed. And now I fully believe Bigfoot's out there. And mermaids. And sort of pauses for a moment. So much has happened in a week. If anything, I'm feeling our group is more normal than the people sat in that diner. We've all got something weird.
Yeah. No, I guess you're right. I just...
And I'm pretty sure Sully talks to trees.
That's weird.
And what are you worried about with that then? He talks to trees. I mean, it's lovely. I'm sure it's great. But, like, everyone has their own thing.
Yeah. No, I guess you're right. You just... Yeah. Thanks, Darcy.
It's okay. Anytime. She sort of gives you like a slap, it's supposed to be a friendly slap, but she's stronger than she realizes, and it's probably a bit of a jolt. She's like, it's all good.
Oh, thanks.
So we'll find it. We'll find the candle. We'll find it. And we'll find it.
Okay. Yeah.
Shall I go to the others? You're all right?
Can you open the door? I can't.
Oh yeah. And she's just gonna, if I can, just literally probably fling it open.
Okay, you flung it open. Thunk, as the door kind of hits against that metal stop, it kind of rolls to its place.
Sort of slides out. Okay. So Lewis is fine, just having a second, finishing off the breakfast and everything like that, and then if we can find the candle, that'd be great. I'm gonna go double check the van or back in the diner. And she sort of starts looking underneath the van and just everywhere.
I think, however long this took, Sullivan pulled out his cigarettes. And
That's what Sullivan's doing.
Yeah, he's quietly smoking because things are a little stressful.
And what's Cameron doing?
I think as they were talking, Cameron pulled out her phone and she has added Agatha back to the group chat and then has put in the text, "We lost something in the dream place. How do we go back there? Can you do it from where you are now?"
The only text that you get from Agatha is OMG, followed by Agatha has left the group, and now your phone is ringing.
Oh, okay, good. Cameron's about to get mad, and then she picks up her phone.
What are you doing now?
I told you, we have to get back to the dreamscape. We lost something there. Can you do it?
I have never texted somebody, I have to get back to the dreamscape. You guys are... Okay, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, you guys aren't asleep or anything. I don't know what to do in the first place.
Is there like some sleep spell we can do where like we all go to sleep and then you take us to the dream place? Would it help if we all laid down?
Yeah, probably, because that way you don't fall over or anything if you're... I've never done it where I'm not laying down already.
Okay, so that's step one. What are the other steps?
I don't know. This is weird stuff. You're supposed to just... I have a book that has a lot of instructions here. It's hard, but I could make you a potion. You could lay down, but I can't do this over the phone.
No, we need to do this now. Can you maybe go get the book and read it out loud, and we'll just kind of do it along as you're reading it out loud?
I don't think you have any of the ingredients that you actually need. They're in the forest or wherever you all are.
I could probably Google substitutes, when you don't have enough butter for a recipe.
Oh gosh, no, Cameron, I don't know how you do anything. I know how I do stuff, and it does not sound like it's the same stuff.
I don't even really know what stuff I do yet, so I don't know, maybe I do this. But this seems like kind of dangerous stuff to mess around with.
But you don't know any of these. I don't know how to tell you how to do stuff you don't know how to do. I'm not sure what you should do. If you're asleep, go to sleep, and then... Have you ever talked to somebody in your dream before where you really did something?
Just once. like 12
Okay.
hours ago, so I'm feeling pretty hot.
So just do that, and then I'll meet you there, I guess.
Okay, so we all need to lay down and go to sleep, and then it'll just work, is what it sounds
I
like. That's what I'm
don't-
getting.
I hope so. Okay, I don't know.
Okay. Is there any like roadside assistance potion service or something? Like, is there any like potion, like sleep potion I can make to help out everybody, or is that
I'm
No.
making a face for Agatha that I hope can be conveyed over a telephone, but it's just there's just like this long pause. She goes, Cameron, I don't think you understand what you're talking about.
No, I definitely don't. But okay, I guess we're all gonna go lay down. You should too, I guess.
All right, bye.
And when Cameron relays to the group, I think we can all go to the dreamscape, but we all have to lay down and fall asleep.
I just woke up.
I think this is my 5th cup of coffee.
Yeah, we've all had a lot of coffee.
Yeah.
Actually, I just had a milkshake. I don't know if the sugar will keep me up. I don't know.
Well, if we want to go, someone has to fall asleep. I'm also pretty hyped up on coffee and, I don't know, magic fingers, but we could try.
I mean, I woke up, but I also can probably fall asleep again. I don't feel rested.
Well, best we can do is try, I suppose.
I could snooze. I didn't really sleep much anyway.
Yeah, like the steps were step 1, like lay down, step 2, fall asleep. Step 3 was Agatha's gonna meet us there. I don't really know, but yeah, least we can do is try.
I mean, she was there when I was there. I don't know how she works.
Okay, then let's do it. Let's go find that camel. And she goes and just opens the front seat of the van and lies across the 2 seats, just arms crossed across her chest and looking up like, go to sleep. Just need to sleep. And her eyes are closed. And she's like, sleep. 1, 2, as she starts counting sheep.
Okay, what's everybody else doing? Say Sullivan, for example.
Sullivan correctly disposes of his cigarette instead of just throwing it away. And Cassie said we could crash in the garage. It'd probably be less weird if we're all in the garage than sleeping in the van right here.
That's good too. Like, and then Darcy sort of sits upright, shuffles herself out the van.
Yeah, and maybe Cassie can keep an eye on us while we're out. I think we can trust her. Can we trust her?
I mean,
I look at Darcy
like...
specifically.
Darcy looks a little bit awkward. She's like, well, we'll just have someone else watch Cassie, you know?
So one of us should stay awake then, is that what you're saying?
I mean, Darcy's very biased, as Cassie has sort of given her she's not been the warmest person to her, and she's like, I mean, whatever you think's best, I'm sure it's fine.
No, you're not. All right. All right. Here's what we'll do. I think Bigfoot's going to have to wait for another day. And that's okay. Bigfoot's going to be here. And I look at Lewis specifically, but this is really important. And no matter what else we're doing, taking care of each other is the most important thing. So, Sully, I want you to take the lead on this, all right? I want you to go in, take the others, and find that candle. I will stay out here, and I will keep watch. Because there are all kinds of dangers out here as well, and I wouldn't want Hank to come back and find us all knocked out on the floor somewhere. I'll stay in touch with Agatha as well, just in case. Well, just in case. Does this sound all right?
Yeah.
So, do we literally just go to sleep? I didn't go into the last one, you see.
That's basically what Agatha said to do, and I don't know, we should move quick. We gotta find it for Lewis.
Okay, we can do that. And Darcy will find somewhere that's mildly comfortable. And she didn't get much sleep the night before either, due to events that happened. So she's tired.
Now, are you all going back to the service station where Cassie said she had a couch? I thought I caught wind of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So as you all walk up, she's putting some stuff away in her truck and wiping her hands on an oily rag that she sets down. Well, you ready to go?
Yes, but not where you think. Something else has come up that we need to handle, and you mentioned having some space inside where we could lay down. Would that still be okay? Is that that invitation still open?
Yeah, I got like a back room. You all can crash over there.
Yeah, that would be really great. All right, cool. And we'll head back. I mechanically, when I tiered, I picked up the stand watch special ability, and I'll throw it up in chat so that you can see it. While standing watch, you unfailingly remain awake and alert for up to 8 hours. During this time, you are trained in perception tasks as well as stealth tasks to conceal yourself from those who might approach. And so I'm going to do exactly that and keep an eye on the team while they are on this mission.
Okay. So Cassie has shown you there's like a service bay for cars, and then off to the side there's a waiting room. But then she shows you a second waiting room. They're like identical rooms, but this one basically just has a big couch and it has a TV in the corner, and that's basically it. It's carpeted. So she shows you back and says, "Yeah, if you want, you guys can just use this."
Thanks, Cassie.
Do you by chance have any, let's say, chamomile tea, something that might make us kind of drowsy, might help us take the naps we're about to take?
I have a big pitcher of kava.
Do you think that would help?
You guys are trying to chill out, relax your
Yes.
senses. That's pretty much what that's for.
Okay. No, we might be good. Okay, never mind. And Cameron is trying to think like maybe she has the ingredients for a sleep potion, but I'm not gonna ask for that straight up.
Yeah. Okay. So you all have a room, and everybody except Josie is going to go to sleep. That's the goal, right? Okay. This is the most real roll on Earth. We're going to make a difficulty 2 intellect check to relax our bodies to go to sleep. I know in real life we all already failed this, but
I was like, can you even put effort into this, or would that actually like make the check harder?
I think it makes it sounds bad, but works, right? So it's like, yeah. I mean, I've been that person who's trying really hard to go to sleep before.
You said an intellect roll, right?
It's an intellect roll, difficulty 2. Magic hands, magic hands. Okay.
Cameron is gonna throw 2 levels of effort into this.
Okay, so you don't technically have to roll if you're using 2 levels of effort. It makes a difficulty of 0.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so I'll just
But
spend
you
the
did,
cost.
and you
of doing
survived.
that.
Yeah, everything's fine either way. So you got there.
Cameron's like anytime she's like attempting to do anything moderately magical, she's like white knuckling her way through it.
Hello, Raiders.
Yep. So I think we just got to wait for Sullivan's roll to come through now.
Yeah, so Sullivan actually like sits in the corner and he like has the sword in his lap and like out, and but he's in the corner facing towards the doorway. And before he starts to fall asleep, he talks to Pockets and asks Pockets to stand watch with Josie. And so Pockets goes over to her and will climb up her and sit on her shoulders if she lets him.
Totally does.
Okay. All right, everyone made it. So this is the best. We get a raid right when everybody's going to fall asleep. That's the best rolls ever. So with this, you're all just kind of like relaxing. Sullivan, for you, it's a really distinct transition between that kind of like trying to be asleep and the blackness of the dream world as you've gotten used to seeing it. And it's also kind of weird when everything is black suddenly and you don't really turn or anything like that, but it's like you've turned and looked, and now Cameron's looking right at you too. Also just kind of there in the black. And then just a little bit later, Darcy's there. And that's probably pretty weird for Darcy. This is just a black void. And none of you are standing on anything, but you're all there. And Lewis, you're there too. And everybody can tell when Lewis gets there because it all gets a little bit lighter with this kind of like flickering nimbus that continues to follow him around.
Well, it looks like everyone's here except for Agatha.
Is this it?
This is what it was like the one other time I was here when my aunt gave me magic lessons. So I think we're here. I don't know if the dreamscape always looks like this, though.
Agatha is now standing behind Lewis. She says, yeah, this is it. You guys did it.
Darcy's like, whoa! Like, as it makes her probably jump as she's probably not looking in that direction.
You're going to do that a lot here. Just relax, because things are weird. Okay. So why are you all here again?
Agatha, did you, when we were here, was I, before you pushed me, was I on fire?
Not that much.
Not that much, but still on fire.
Right.
I apparently I had my candle while I was here and I lost it, and that's what makes this not be this, and I need to find it.
Okay, so you have to find something that's part of you.
Yes.
That's the easiest thing you should be able to do here. You should be able to do that real easily. Just
It's
don't
me,
try so
Agatha.
hard.
Oh, how do I not try so
No, I
hard?
mean, just feel it, right? Just like start walking.
He's gonna close his eyes because he thinks that helps and walk in a random direction.
And you know that's going to help. And we're going to have Lewis make a roll to go find stuff. Lewis seems skilled in this.
I'm let's see. Well, you know, I'm skilled in assessing danger, lies, quality, importance, function, or power.
I mean, yeah, we're going to go with
That's
it,
like
right?
the only thing that could work.
It's okay. It's okay. You're set. So you have a difficulty 3 roll that you are skilled in.
So it's
You
a
can click the
difficulty
little button
2
next
then.
to it. Right, that's
Wait,
the effective thing, right? You're going to have to roll a 6 or more.
I can click the button next to it?
You can click the button next to it, and it should work. You
Okay.
have to make decisions of things like, do you want to spend effort on this? Do you have any special roly things you want to do?
So if I click that button, do I set it to 3 or 2?
Set it to 3 because it'll take advantage of
Okay.
the skill.
It'll take advantage of, okay.
You got it. Look at that.
Oh, that's so cool. Look at me using my skills.
You did a skill thing.
I did,
So,
and I didn't fail.
So Lewis has had to do a lot of rock climbing, a lot of exploring, a lot of things where you need a little bit of instinct in addition to a lot of practice. And this kind of feels like that because you had to find this candle so many times.
So
And
many times.
it's out there. And I mean, it's kind of like if you could imagine that old saying of having like a string tied to your navel and you're just like kind of following something else around. So you're getting there. Things are moving the direction you want to. You can feel you're going the right way. And the candle's out there. So you continue in this direction. And is everybody else just kind of like following behind Lewis?
Yeah.
Cool.
Sullivan would like to use hedge magic to give everyone a little globe of light, and they're all different colors to differentiate who's who.
Sure.
No one's going to be green because Lewis is already green.
Go ahead and make a roll just to not roll a 1 for me, please.
Okay. I'll just roll the depletion because it's a d20.
Sure. That works.
That's not a 1.
Yeah. So it's working. And Lewis, you can feel the candle as you're getting a little closer, and it's like the flame intensity is diminishing slightly too. So there's a lot of good indicators here. But as you're getting closer, you're also starting to feel a presence.
I'm gonna.
That feels...
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
So does it feel stronger the more? I'm assuming it feels stronger the more I keep going.
Yep.
I'm gonna stop, and I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna open my eyes and look back and be like, see if they're behind me. When
Agatha's like an
that.
inch away from you on the left, like looking directly at your face.
Hi, Agatha.
Yeah.
Oh, but there's some presence here that I feel. We're gonna keep going, but I just thought you guys should know that it's not a good presence, though.
Cameron,
Okay.
Sullivan, do you feel anything?
I will try to focus and see if I can feel anything, sure.
Sure.
Would this be a perception check?
Yeah, we could do a perception check. You guys have a
Could I
difficulty
do
4 right now.
assessing danger?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So difficulty 4 reduced by skills as things happen.
So Cameron's difficulty is actually increased by 1.
No, that's initiative.
This is also just general danger. She's
really?
not good at
Wow.
perceiving it. I think in this space, she's like kind of opened herself up to try and find this, but she's also kind of playing with her own magic.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm enjoying how bad that is for you now. But yes, now I see that.
Still got it.
You still got it. You did quite well. This is the place where magic is making more sense to you than anywhere else. You did almost all of your training here. All of those like several hours of training were all here in the dream space. So you're actually getting pretty used to this.
I think she sees Sullivan use like minor magic to create lights for everyone. She's like, oh, I wonder if I can do that. And she starts like whipping up little lights in her own hand, and they all come up either gold or purple or pink.
Yeah, the downside is right now when you start trying to focus on the sensation that Lewis is feeling, it feels to you like you're looking down and your armor is starting to come up.
Cool.
It's like nebulously blinking into existence around your hands and around your body. Sullivan, you smell lightning on the air. There is no air, but you've been within this situation before.
Cool. I'm sure everything's fine.
Darcy, you can roll if you want to, but you don't have to.
Difficulty, sorry.
Difficulty's 4. It's a perception roll. Or some other cool skill for knowing things are dangerous.
I have scan.
I really just want somebody to roll a 1. That's all I was going for. Okay.
So yeah, Sullivan would definitely, once he catches that, he'd be like, yeah, I can tell it's there. Something's there.
Yeah. Lewis is starting to smell like Santa Cruz beach salt air and a crisp morning to you.
This is so bittersweet. I close my eyes again and move forward.
Yeah, you can feel it now. You don't need to have your eyes closed. You know where it is. It's if you just keep going like this black just goes on, but you have to be very close to where the candle is and where this sensation is coming from. These things are right on top of one another.
I will then open my eyes. Once it gets like almost overwhelming, I'll open my eyes. Because even though I'm very superstitious, I'll kind of look around. Do I see? Is it still just black?
You see that endless black landscape that's being highlighted by the tiniest stub of a black candle, letting off the tiniest minute glow as just the little head of the wick, the little hot part, is still glowing and outlining the broad kind of triangular shape of a being hunched over the candle like they're warming their hands.
Hold on. Don't hate me. Yep. Lewis runs over to them.
You're going forward. Okay.
Yeah.
Sullivan breaks into a run to follow.
I was going to say, Darcy. What did Darcy see? Did she get the sense of anything in particular, or is she seeing what Lewis is seeing?
Darcy is not used to this space, and everything is probably like a little bit disconcerting, but right now, Darcy's pretty good at shades of black. And so the idea of this candle, this flame in the distance, this being, you've got the long distance range where you can kind of tell all of these shapes and colors taking place while everybody else is sensing the magic.
Okay, she'll
And there's
probably,
also... Go ahead.
No, if she sees Lewis run, then sees Sully run, she'll be like, oh, because one, she doesn't want to be left in the dark, and two, she doesn't want them to run towards whatever that is.
Yeah. As you're getting closer, there's a smell as well of something that's off, kind of tainted or corrupted, that's getting closer to you. It's something you've smelled before, and more in like your training and the ways that people were trying to teach you to interact with others. There's something wrong here.
Yeah,
What's Cameron gonna do? Oh, sorry. Let's do Darcy, then let's do what's Cameron gonna do.
No, I was literally, she's just yelling out to say, stop running now.
Okay, so now what's Cameron gonna do?
I think Cameron, like the moment like I think she sees Lewis start to jolt ahead just a second too late. And so she's trying to run on the heels of Lewis and keep shoulder to shoulder. And as she takes a step, she has this thought of, no, like, this is getting dangerous. We see her clothing start to kind of fade to black as a golden, sort of paladin-like spiky armor outline begins to form around her body. And I think what we see is she uses an ability for the first time. It's called Far Step, where she's able to leap through the air and land safely at a distance in front of her. So she'll like jump up with one foot and then land with the other right next to Lewis.
Nice. Okay, so everybody's getting very close, and as this figure turns around, you can see like these like kind of crazy extended, crazy doesn't sound good, let's say wild extended hairs coming out in little kind of like whitish clumps. There are two coal-like eyes as the witch turns. You can see the long nose, the very haggard, like gaunt face. The skin looks really stretched. And if you can imagine a very badly done wax figure where it has that very sallow complexion and nothing looks quite real, that's kind of how the witch's face looks. Long, claw-like hands. And as it turns and looks at you all, there's a flash of light. And I think the person who's in the front the most is Lewis, right? Right there with Cameron like this. So, yeah, Lewis, you're gonna have to make a speed test to not get hit by lightning.
What's the
The
4?
difficulty's 4.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yes, you do. Okay.
We can spend experience to do stuff, right?
This is a thing you can do, yes.
Can I spend 1 experience to get in the way and block the lightning with my sword? Because I told you the next time lightning was being shot, I was going to block it. And damn it, I'm going to do it.
You have followed all the form required. Yes, you've laid out all of your procedures properly. So the only thing is you are going to have to roll depletion on your sword if you do this.
Okay. I'll
but
take
no
that
one will
chance.
have to roll for anything else.
Not depleted.
All right. So you spent an experience point. The sword, you're going to have to talk about how cool this is because you just caught a lightning bolt.
So I'm running, right? I'm running as hard as I can to catch up with Lewis, and all of a sudden Cameron's just right there with Lewis. And he I want to say because he's been hit by the lightning and the car was hit by the lightning while he was driving, like he feels the change in the air moments before it happens. And so he just somehow he doesn't even run. He just is in front of Lewis and Cameron suddenly, almost kind of like what Cameron did, being that this is a nebulous dream area. And he just is pulling the sword from the sheath as he appears. And the lightning hits the sword and gets trapped along the blade. And as he flings it up, he shoots it away.
Yeah, and everybody can just imagine that crackling lightning bolt jumping into the distance. Sullivan standing there, the sword slightly smoking in that airless void. It's just a magical, cool effect that has happened now. And the witch turns and looks at you with these cold eyes. And the claws just kind of flex for a second. Okay, we're going to make a speed test. The difficulty's 4. If you make it, this is an initiative roll. You get to go before the witch. Excellent. Thank you. So the way that goes, technically, the number's 3 now. Because we got a 1 and a 2 in succession. I've been very nice and not had the number be any higher for a while now, so I feel like that's been earned. But it does mean, wow, that first off, Lewis is going to be awesome in a second, and Darcy's just slower than the witch. So if you happen to be listening to this, and I appreciate it if you are, if you can raise that number to 3, that would be great. Let's talk about how Lewis is phenomenally fast, and preferably something a little flavored here, because you have a major effect coming up. So typically we get that from your focus, but if you want to describe something else, we can do that. something backstory tied? What do you think?
I definitely don't have the rule book pulled up,
It's okay.
so I
No
was not
worries.
expecting this.
But
I think, I don't even know what a major effect is.
so a major effect, you've rolled a 20. This is the best possible thing that's happening on this roll. And typically we tie it back to your focus. But if you'd rather tie it back to your backstory or back to the candle or any other kind of cool effect, you're in dream space, so you can make anything happen. But you're winning this contest right now.
Okay. Oh, I passed it. Major effect. Oh, okay. So, did I see? So, the major effect suggestion is an important item on the target's person is destroyed.
Yeah.
And I assume I'm fairly close to her by now, to this witch. And so I think what happens is that like Lewis steps up and he is in such a rage that it almost like Hades in Hercules style, like Disney Hercules, like the fire just gets, grows huge. And as it does this, like it essentially like burns the coal. I know coal can't burn, but essentially like burns the coal off of her, like if you allow that. I don't know if that's too much.
So what are we trying to burn on the witch?
The eyes.
Okay.
To essentially blind her.
I am fine with it in the condition that the way this happens is Lewis scoops up the candle and maybe thrusts it towards her face.
Yeah.
And there's just this moment. So her eyes burn like coals. We're learning at this moment that they're not actual literal coals, but this is figurative dream space. Because when the candle gets lifted up and kind of thrown forward, Lewis, in a way that is new to you, you kind of like scatter a handful of sparks. There's a splash of flame that pours forth from you, and it washes over the witch's face. And as she leans back and throws her claws up over her eyes, she's taken her eyes off of you now and kind of like falls back in dream space. And it seems like she physically gets smaller as that happens. For just that moment, she's not 8 feet tall now. Now maybe she's just, 5.5 feet tall. And at that time, as she pulls her hands away, you can't see the glowing eyes anymore, but she looks towards you and she says to you all, I bar the door and shut you away. The way I close will not betray. Your path will not return to me. Where I go, your eyes cannot see. And at that point, you guys get this incredible Z out pan effect where you're all standing still and then suddenly the witch kind of like disappears at a great distance, like you're seeing through this little pinhole of light, and she's zoomed away, and there's like a click. You hear this like clunk sound, in fact, not even a click. And you're all awake in that waiting room in the service station.
I immediately look down to see if I'm still holding that candle.
The tiniest, saddest little stub of black wax is resting in your palm, and that little tiny fire that does not move is leaning up against your index finger.
Is everyone okay?
How much time has passed in the...
It's about 11:30 now.
So a few hours.
Yeah, like 3 hours.
Yeah. What happened? How did it go? Is everything okay?
Darcy's just sat upright and she's more just very wide-eyed looking around, like getting her bearings again. Like as she stand up, you see she doesn't fall over, but she wobbles as if like she forgets there's things there.
And I think Lewis is just kind of quiet, but he holds up the candle, just showing everybody that they were successful.
Josie gets a big smile on her face and she runs over and just like almost tackles Lewis and hugs him, and then is like, whoa, wait, and holds out like at arms like, is it okay if I hug you? Sorry, I should have asked. That was weird.
Oh, yeah, you can, yeah.
Yeah, and just with just a little bit of affirmation, she wraps her arms around you again and gives you a big hug. And it's probably a little tighter than is actually comfortable, but it doesn't last for too long.
Thanks.
I'm just glad everything's okay. Anyone hurt or driven mad by the darkness or anything like that I should know about? Anything we're gonna have to claim on insurance?
I think we're okay.
All right. Well, I've got to tell you, there was like an army of, I don't know what they were, goblins or something out here, but between Cassie and I, we managed, and Pockets, of course, Pockets, we never could have done it without Pockets, but we managed to hold them off. I suspect they're all outside waiting for us, though, so I don't know how we get out of here, but that's where we stand.
After the day Darcy has had hearing about things, she's like, you're lying, right?
Yeah, I'm totally lying. I totally made that up.
Okay,
No, it's been completely quiet.
Okay, no, that's fine. After hearing about mermaids and stuff like that, she's like, okay, yeah, we're good.
I don't even know. Does anybody know, are goblins a thing?
Probably.
I mean, where
Cassie! Cassie, are goblins a thing?
Cassie comes in. Yeah, what? Goblins?
Yeah.
I've seen some pretty weird little demons, but I don't know. I don't know.
See, they're not even a thing. I just made it up.
Darcy's still like checking behind the sofa.
Okay. Are you guys going to be here like a lot longer?
I kind of looking at the gang. I don't think so. I think we're. I mean, I don't know how we're going to get back to the city at this point. I guess we could Uber or something.
I mean, I'll still take you out in the woods if you want. It's not that late.
Oh.
But if my partner drops by and she's bringing me lunch, just be not weird.
No guarantees.
Yes. Just don't do anything weird. She doesn't know about magic stuff.
Wow, we're good. We're good. We got it. No weirdness here.
Darcy just like a really awkward thumbs up.
Maybe she won't come in. Okay. And she starts walking off.
Cameron looks over, like she like jolts awake, and then she's looking at Lewis, and she kind of leans over and says a little softly, now that we got your thing, do you feel up to looking for some Bigfoots?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes.
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 Yeah, let's go.
Let's go look at some Bigfoots. People who say Bigfoots say Bigfoots.
I don't know. Let's go. I didn't do well at this part of school.
big
Yeah.
part of school.
It's fake on purpose.
It's good stuff. Okay. You all leave the service station back room after whatever length of time. There is a Ford Explorer, like a later model, that's pulling by, and Cassie like fairly sprints across the service station, whatever the term is, the outside cement pad. She like runs across the lot. There we go, the lot, and goes up to the window of the car, takes like a big lunch bag from a lady, gives her like a hasty peck on the cheek, and is like backing up, waving at her as she backs up. And she's trying very hard without looking at you. She's doing the thing where she's trying to put her back between you and the car.
There's totally
okay.
like 5 people standing behind her, all waving and like rudely looking.
The Ford Explorer pulls forward in the parking lot, and like somebody is playfully honking on the horn. They're going like, and the car pulls forward, and the side window rolls down. There's a lady with like kind of deep dark skin. Her hair is pulled back, and it's like a big bushy ponytail thing as well. I think I said that we've got braided hair for Cassie, and this lady does not. And she's like smiling, going like, "Hey, who are you all now?"
Hi, I'm Lewis and Clark. Nice to meet you.
Cassie is doing the anime thing where her shoulders are up like this, and she's holding a bag down at her waist, and she looks very angry behind all of you. And so she's reaching across the steering wheel. This lady's wearing like a very bright lemon yellow blouse and like a puffer vest. And she shakes your hand. She goes, "Hi, I'm Libby. Nice to meet you."
Hey. Yeah, our van broke down. Cassie's just helping us out a little bit.
Are you all doing okay? Do you need to go down? Because I'm going back towards Santa Cruz if you guys want to go that way.
And I look back toward Cassie. No, I think we're good. We're good. We're just went some parts or something. So thank you, though. Really appreciate it. It's kind of you.
Okay.
Good.
Have luck. Have good luck finding Bigfoot. Haha. And she like honks a horn at you again and starts pulling out of the parking lot.
I like her.
Cassie looks super embarrassed.
She's pretty.
Yep.
Good job.
So how about that ride into the woods?
Yeah, I'll give you a ride into the woods. Let me go put my lunch down.
I mean, I don't know about anyone else, but I'm a little hungry.
Just thinking that. I was just thinking that.
Maybe we can get something from Phil's to go. I mean, we could definitely get stuff from Phil's to go.
Yeah.
I'm up for that.
Yeah, just super quick, because we don't have a ton of time.
Yeah, we can really stank up Cassie's car.
What is wrong with you people? That's great. Okay. So you guys go into Phil's, you order food, it comes out. In the interest of all of our stream audience not becoming super, super hungry, what did you get? Let's start with Cameron.
She got the same thing as this morning, a double hash browns, a pancake, and a waffle.
I approve of breakfast for lunch. It's a great choice. Good job. Okay, what did Josie get?
A chili dog, and then another chili dog.
Wow. Okay, that's brave. That's a very brave going into the woods food. Okay. How about Darcy?
Darcy would have got like if there was an equivalent of like a club sandwich or something, and then fries, but been like, can I have 2 fries instead of the regular one? And yes, I am hungry as well as Darcy being hungry now.
I'm trying to keep it as quick as possible for everybody's sake. All right, let's talk about Lewis. What did Lewis get?
He just said, give me your favorite thing on the menu.
Oh, okay, that's good. I appreciate that because that'll help Mac feel better. So you have a huge plate of garlic fried rice, and it has big red sausages that are on top of it, and they smell kind of vinegary too. And then you have long, thin strips of beef that's dried out. And I actually have the name of this written down. Let me write this down. Dun. Okay, so the plate of fried rice is referred to as silog, and it has tapa and longanisa on top of it. So I think there's a very complicated way of putting all this together, but this is for Mac. This is the Mac plate. Okay, so we're going to continue on to Sullivan. What did Sullivan get?
Sullivan got the biggest burger with all the toppings the guy would give him. And like Darcy, double fries.
Okay. Yep. So you've got that. Does your burger have an egg on it? Because they totally do that here.
Totally.
Okay.
Because it's still breakfast now, right? That's how that works. Justified
According
as
to you
breakfast.
guys. Yeah, it's perfect. Okay, so this car that you guys are driving along in, which is still Cassie's tow truck, it barely fits all of you. It is so tight here in the back seat, and Josie's in the front seat by herself opposite Cassie because of all the boss rules we talked about last time. Pockets, I'm sure, is overjoyed. So you have all of this stuff going on. The car smells like hot grease from the 7 orders of French fries between all of you. And yeah, that's all happening. The tow truck goes north up Highway 17. It's going up into the wilderness. And after about 20 minutes, Cassie pulls in beneath a very large redwood where there's a turnout and says, okay, if you're going to eat, you might want to eat here because I don't really think we want to track all that into the woods.
I agree. We don't want to leave trash.
Well, there's also definitely bears.
No, I was gonna say also.
I'm not
bears
worried
and-
about the bears, although I don't want to have to deal with the bears. But yeah,
Me too.
My 2 chili dogs were gone 5 minutes ago. So
I was gonna say Darcy's got her mouth full, what? And she's eating the sandwich.
Yeah, I think honestly Sullivan's probably only got a few French fries left, and he's just done fighting Pockets and letting him have them.
Okay, well, Cassie stubbornly sits down and goes into the compartments that are in the back of the truck and pulls out the lunch she got. And yeah, we should have had Hollow. That would have been a good idea. I'm totally on top of that. Mac has all the best food suggestions. Everybody follow Mac for food advice. So anyways, Cassie's sitting there and she's got this mound of, it's not rice. It's actually looking like it's plantain that she's eating. And it has little pieces of what look like bacon in it. And she's eating a big plate of mofongo right now. And she's sitting there and doing her thing. And then, yeah, why not, right?
Lewis is
I don't know,
definitely
that's what we
asking. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Lewis
We're
is
all making
asking
reactions.
all the person, how long have you guys been together? So do you like her? All the annoying questions.
Yeah,
Is
we've
it
been together for 8
serious?
years. Okay, yeah. I mean, and she puts up her hand and she's wearing a wedding ring. She's like, yeah, it's serious, okay? It's I know I'm doing the wrong hand. It's not my fault.
I'm so happy for you.
Yeah, thanks. You guys are so embarrassing.
I know, but we're kind of like your children. It's my job to be embarrassing.
You're
And
not at all
I'm
like my children. I don't have any children.
Yeah, surrogate children.
How old do you think I am?
At least 18. I'm pretty sure you have to be at least 18.
Okay, as long as you don't think that I'm as old as your mom, because I'm guessing your mom's a lot older than me.
Yeah, I don't like to think about my mom very much anyway, so nope, not thinking about you as her or her as you. So, does she bring you lunch every day?
Yeah, a lot of days. Sometimes I eat at Phil's, but I mean...
That's so cute! Does she put little cute notes in it?
She is putting something in the pocket of her jeans and says, we're not going to talk about that.
That's so cute. I'm so proud and happy for you. Couple goals.
Okay. It's like every conversation Lewis has with anyone. It's so good. It's all everybody really wants. Hey, pro side, Lewis has returned to normal spirits. So I'm going to declare lunch done at this time. And Cassie has now put her bag away, and she like takes out the orange spray that people use on like their hands when they're cleaning cars, and like wipes her hands down. She goes, okay, we're going to go into the woods. You guys have to be not crazy. We cannot start a fire or something like that. This is a national state park. There are definitely rangers out there.
I mean, we're not going to start a fire on purpose.
Don't worry, I have a fire extinguisher.
He does.
Okay, good. Keep that. That's good. Yeah. Everybody, yeah. It's all going to be fine. I've walked this trail a lot. You guys know what to do. Just like keep cool. And if you see something looks weird, let me know. It is very hard to actually see a Bigfoot, but you are all crazy magic people, and you will probably see them just fine.
Okay.
Okay. And she holds up her phone. She says, I've still got reception. Do any of you? No, the answer is no. Nobody else has reception now.
Oh, crap.
Okay, I'm probably going to lose it in like 5 minutes tops. So just be aware. Reception's really crappy up here in the mountain. It's not much of a mountain. It's like a little hill.
Okay, no reception. Don't get in trouble. Got it.
Yeah, it's a really straightforward walk. Just take your time. You guys have your cameras, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, you've got the same camera as Libby, she says, pointing to Darcy.
It's a good camera. Good choice.
Yeah, I don't know anything about cameras, but come on. Okay, so Cassie starts leading you out into the middle of nowhere. As we're going, is there anything particular anybody wants to get done? Any things you're looking for, anything like that?
I think Darcy might snap a few photos here and there. Otherwise, she's just walking and staying pretty close to the group.
Okay.
And I think that Josie is, yeah, I imagine that we're all fairly close together, but I think Josie's kind of got the rear. She's specifically, I want to keep an eye on the team, but I also want to be aware of what's going on behind us. So I'll have my danger senses up. I'm way less worried about Bigfoot than I am about like Hank Young going weird on us or something like that.
That's fair. Okay. How about Cameron?
I think Cameron, so that map that they stole from the Bigfoot hunter, Hank Young, she has that downloaded onto her phone and has been looking at it and is kind of like watching the road and is probably talking to Cassie a bit about the location because she's really interested in that and like really dialing in on how close was Hank Young to this Bigfoot. And we already know the answer was too close, but she's like really diving into the area and learning more about the geography.
So you have 2 sites that are fairly close together up here, and then you have a third one down here. So you've got like 3 things like that on the map. You're closest to this one, and according to Cassie, right before you lost your GPS signal for your phone, you were pretty close to that. That's almost certainly where you're heading. So yeah, it's looking like you've got a pretty accurate map of the area for that. The map is a real, like, it's like a topo map, like you would get at REI or some other wilderness store. So it's a fairly good map of the area, but it doesn't have, you know, a lot of like road features. It doesn't have the national service roads or anything like that. So it's really focusing on the terrain. Let's see. How about Lewis?
Lewis is probably more towards the front, just kind of trying to guide-ish and make sure that like everything is clear, or like, you know, like, okay, like there's a log coming up, everybody be careful, you know, like just pointing out things that could hurt people or like could be, yeah.
Okay. This is a good spot for Lewis. Lewis is active, and where Cassie is pretty much just leading the trail, You do catch a lot of little stuff like the poison oak on the sides of the trail and things like that that keep everybody a little bit safer. So it's a good time to have Lewis around. Let's talk about Sullivan.
I think Sullivan is probably the person right in front of Josie. He would be the second to last. And at first, he's just kind of following everyone. And eventually he just steps off the path and starts walking towards a redwood tree. And he's gonna just step out of his flip-flop sandals and stick his feet in the dirt, and he's gonna, like, I think if he had more time, he'd sit down under the tree. But since everyone's moving because they've got stuff to do, he just kind of like leans his forehead up against the bark and closes his eyes. And
okay, cool.
I've got a couple of things I'd like to try and do.
Let's start with one and let's see how it goes.
First off, I want to see if I can figure out if Hank's in the forest right now and where he is in relation to us.
Okay. So Hank is level 4 to find in a forest. And I'm trying to think if you have any cool skills at work here.
I mean, the last time I tried to
to
talk to the trees, I used hedge magic, but maybe mental link would work now.
Well, you can still use a hedge magic to talk to the trees, but I think you need to be assessing danger as a skill.
Okay.
So you'll be able to use that skill. There's a really different sensation being here in the forest with the redwoods and being in the city. In the city, it was like little specks of green, and you had a very disconnected sense. Here, staying in the redwood forest, you found that those redwood roots that are so shallow, everything's kind of touching underneath you. And so you're on the grid. Sullivan's on the grid now, where now you're connected to everything all around you. This whole forest is basically one ecosystem that just lives and thrives together. So as you touch your head against the bark, you're also like, you're so new to it that it's almost not noticing you. So go ahead, let's make that roll. Let's see how it goes.
Okay, you said difficulty 4.
Yep, and you're assessing danger as the skill you can use.
I'm going to spend my advantage, I think.
Sounds good, sounds good.
So, of course.
Whoa, it's good. It's real good, right?
That's how that always works. I spent my advantage, so I critically succeed.
So my thought for this major effect is that it's tree linked. The trees are giving you a little more info. How does that sound to you?
Yeah.
So you're connected to all of these big redwood trees. Everything is there. You can feel how everything feels. And a branch breaks off of you somewhere where you're a tree far in the distance. And it's malevolent. It's not like a branch accidentally broke, but you can feel something break a branch off of one of your tiny sapling trees. And that something has a heavy tread. You can feel it continuing to step over your roots as it clomps and kind of like stalks into the distance. And this weird sensation of hearing through a tree as you hear, yeah, we're out here in the forest. This is definitely Bigfoot territory here. I can smell him on the air. I tell you what, it's a good thing that I had a backup gun, and he pats his gun. Otherwise, we wouldn't have anything done today. Stay tuned. There's definitely going to be something getting shot. And with that, Hank Young is somewhere up ahead of you in the forest.
I will make note of that to tell everyone. Then I would like to try and figure out where the Bigfoot are.
Well, you made a really good success, and as much as I like being mean to you, I don't want to be mean to you right now. In the distance, on that same network of redwoods, maybe this is why the trees are trying so hard to get this across to you. It's not much farther between Hank and this very unusual force that you haven't felt before. It's very placid and calm and very in sync with its ecosystem, but also it's kind of hard for you to really pinpoint. Almost like it's purposely staying out of something's sight. But you know where it is. The good news is you're walking towards it. The less good news is Hank Young is closer than you are.
And it's so, in simplest terms, if we're here, Hank's here, they're here.
He has, if you were to estimate running, a 10-minute head start on you.
Okay. Do I have enough of a sense of where we're going that I can take lead if I start leading us around?
Yeah, you probably could.
So I think what happens is he pulls his head back, grabs his sandals, and rejoins everyone, but he doesn't step back onto the is the path just dirt, or is it like more well kept?
Yeah, this is like a game trail. And how close is Josie to Sullivan when he stops putting his head up against the tree?
I've been keeping, he's got some of my attention so that I know where he is and what he's doing as well. So I'm not far.
Okay.
Yeah, so he doesn't take,
See
he doesn't
thing?
put his yeah, they're really close, and Hank's in front of us. He's got a 10-minute head start. We need to move. And he'll start to head up to the front, but he doesn't put his sandals back on. He wants to stay connected as well as he can while moving. So like every step he like presses his feet into the dirt slightly to keep that connection as strong as he can.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Sullivan, yeah, he's got a good signal. He's on the network. Everything's going where it should. And out in the distance, a little ways, Cassie is, Lewis, now after a couple times, Cassie's looking over at you and she kind of like gives you one of those head things. And you feel respected.
Did you say I feel respected?
Yeah.
I try to hide my excitement, but I don't do a very good job.
Because you've been out this way before, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you look like you know what you're doing.
Yeah, I like to go explore things. Yeah.
Okay, but you know the redwoods, right? Because you're pretty comfortable out here.
Yes, very. This is not my first time out here. I love this area.
Yeah. I came out here first because I wanted peace.
So peaceful. Wait, did you find peace?
No, I just found something else that needed protecting.
It's fair. What do you mind if I ask what you found?
Well, I'm kind of talking about the Bigfoots. I guess I'm talking about Libby too.
You found her in the forest?
I actually really did find her in the forest, but it's not like an exciting story.
Tell me. Please,
No,
if you want. If you don't want to. Okay, you don't have to. It's okay.
Okay, all right. She takes photos up here all the time. She's like a nature photographer, just like amateur stuff. And she was just taking pictures up here, and I basically came up here because I left LA and I didn't want to be in LA anymore. And it's pretty breathtaking. You kind of have to stop the first time you see the redwoods.
They're so big.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible.
Yeah, I think one of the first times that I like really came out here when I was like in college, I had a friend who tried to hug the tree, and I have a really funny picture of him because he only gets like maybe a quarter of the way around the base of the tree.
Yeah. When I was a kid, I think my parents took me out here. Did you ever see that picture of the tree you used to be able to drive through?
Oh yeah, I've been through that a couple times. It's pretty cool.
Okay. Yeah.
What does that look for?
Now, maybe where I'm thinking of a different tree because you're not that old. There's probably a couple of those trees.
Yeah, maybe. My tree might be a little more south, actually. The tree I'm thinking of is in Sequoia.
Honestly, I think the tree I'm thinking of is in Sequoia too.
Oh, yeah, I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah. So with that, we continue on in this way with Cassie leading and talking to Lewis unexpectedly, just like this. And what's so Sullivan's just kind of on the network, being aware of the trees. Hank Young continues to be a little bit ahead of you guys this whole time.
Can I try and can I being on this network of foliage, can I use my grasping foliage attack on Hank from where we are?
I'm going to say that's going to be a difficult thing to do. You can attempt that if you would like.
I would like to attempt to make it harder for him to do what he's doing so yes.
Okay.
I'll put it up in the chat for everyone to see it.
Yep.
Would you like me to just read it as well for all our viewers and whatnot?
Sure, if you'd like.
So, grasping foliage, roots, branches, grass, or other natural foliage in the area snags and holds onto your foal within a short range up to 1 minute. A foe caught in the foliage can't move from its position, and all physical tasks, attacks, and defenses are hindered, including attempts to free itself. That's pretty much it. I want the plants and the trees to start grabbing him and slowing him down.
So I think what we're going to do, because of the fact that you can do this thing, is the same thing we did with Cameron. Rather than making it harder to do, we're going to make it more costly to do.
Okay.
It normally costs you 3, it's going to cost you 5 because of the fact that you're doing this from across a forest.
Okay.
Now, I do want to remind you, you can do all these recovery rolls that you guys don't tend to do, but you can do that. And I will be happy to walk through it with you when necessary. But you do have the points for right now.
I do have the points right now, so yeah.
And then the difficulty of attacking Hank is a 4.
Okay. Nope, I got a 1.
I'm so happy you got a 1. Because that is the perfect place for us to get ready. In the distance, you can feel this happening in the trees as we go through this motion here. Sullivan, I am doing 2 things at once. Pardon me, it is that time of the night where I have to do this too. But in the distance, you can hear sounds. A voice carries over the forest. It says, "Let now shadow and leaf swirl, cloak the path and hide the world. In this mire of lost ways do lie. My spell will hide truth from your eye." And your connection to the forest is broken, as suddenly all around all of you, there is a very sudden wind that blows up this thick fog. And you find yourselves looking out into this abyss, this gray nothingness, as you have all become lost in the woods. Which is where we will pick up next time. Thanks for providing me with that.
I'm sorry, y'all.
So on my part, I would just like to say thank you all for playing this ridiculous horror game with me. That next week we'll have the horror threshold set to 4 when we start out, because that is awesome and I'm happy. I mean, it was low like all of the last 2 sessions. It's so good. I love you guys so much. I would like to remind everybody, so that Alice doesn't have to continue to yell about it, that Alice has a photography Patreon that opened today, White Rabbit Pick. Go support Alice because she is lovely and all the things she do, they are all lovely. And I will now pitch it over to Alice.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much. An amazing game again, and I have to wait a whole week. again. So please check out all the links that are coming up in the chat now. You can find our Discord, you can find YouTube where you can catch up on all of our shows as well. Also, you can find the links to our wonderful, wonderful sponsors in the form of Maychan Press and also the Deck of Many, who are our new sponsor. And we couldn't do this without them, so please go check them out. They do some really, really cool stuff. Otherwise, I love this game so much, and I'm gonna go scream into the Discord now. And keep evoking emotions, everyone, and we'll see you next week. Bye.